Hey guys, Spiderman101 here, back with another of the tiny tournament matches for you. Today we're going up against Caesar, who is bringing with him Chandelure, Mother Shuckle, Sylveon and Mighty Yenna, something I hadn't actually anticipated seeing in Mighty Yenna. I was surprised I didn't see more Sylveons about though, to be fair. We're bringing with us our Resolve Play, Down Muck, Orphan, Marowak, and I'm the best, Amungus. So we'll jump into the match for you. So he's going to open up with Chandelure and you don't motherfucker. As Zelf and Muck are going to open up for us. So Shuckle is on the field. We're going to protect with Zelf because I figured I was probably getting Shadow Ball in the face. And we're just going to go straight up for a knockoff on the Chandelure, predicting that, which does a really nice big chunk of damage, to be fair. Shuckle goes for a knockoff into Resolve, which doesn't do too much damage, to be fair. As we see, the Chandelure actually sets up Trickery, so that is a little bit of a surprise there. We could have picked up a KO on that thing quite easily, had we doubled into it, but we didn't. We see he's going to withdraw here, which is a really good play, because we went for a Shadow Sneak to try and pick up the KO. And he goes out into the Mighty Yenna, who gets Intimidate, which is actually really good in this format. So this is quite an interesting team here. So we get Intimidated. Shadow Sneak's going to connect now. It's resisted, and being at -1, that's going to do diddly bumps us, but if it was sashed, we at least broke the sash. Shuckle's actually going to go for a Power Trick. So what Power Trick does, it's going to swap its Sky High defense stat to Sky High's attack stat and get rid of its defense. Unfortunately for it, we went for a Psyshock though, and that hits on the defensive side, so it's just, yeah, dead. Dead, you ain't living, Shuckle, sorry. Sylveon's going to come out. So Muck's on the field at -1, but we've got 2 poison types, and Sylveon is not going to be too happy here. We're going to protect with Resolve because I figured we'd probably get crunched. As we go for a big old poison jab, even at -1, this is going to do a decent amount to the Sylveon. Sylveon actually goes for Charm, which is interesting. So this is going to harshly lower Muck's attack. So we're now at -3, so we lose 2 for that. So yeah, -3. Crunch goes into Resolve as we predicted. The only problem I've got at this point is I don't want to swap Marowak in on the Mighty Yenna. So we're going to go out into Amungus and predicting him to go for a Crunch. If I was him, I would not want the Sylveon staying on the field right now with 2 poison types, even if Muck was at -3. Sylveon's going to go for a Protect. My biggest problem right now is how do I play around this Mighty Yenna. Mighty Yenna's going to go for a Crunch. It does a really good amount to Amungus, and we're bulky. We get some Rocky Helmet damage off on it, which is good for us. As we go for a big old Sludge Bomb, that's going to connect on the Sylveon, do a butt ton of damage. Annoyingly pop its Berry. So maybe, yeah, we couldn't knock. I suppose we should have gone for knockoff really, but there we go at some point. As we go for another poison jab with Muck onto the Sylveon. So we're targeting Sylveon down here because the Mighty Yenna, I'm actually trying to work out how I'll deal with it at this point. Psyshock's going to connect on the Amungus, and because we've got defensive investment there, we are going to live. However, we ain't going to live an Ice Fang on top of that from Mighty Yenna. I forgot completely this thing gets Ice Fang because you don't see them very often. That completely caught me off guard. We perhaps should have spored it the turn before, put it to sleep maybe. Trick Room's going to end, which means the Zelf can come in and outspeed everything though. But I still don't know how we're dealing with this Mighty Yenna at the moment. Sylveon's going to go for a Protect. We're going to go for a Psyshock, and that is going to into the Sylveon slot. We probably should have flamethrower the Mighty Yenna. Crunch is going to take Resolve down to Sash. So at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I deal with this Mighty Yenna. How do I finish it off? It outspeeds Marowak and probably do a butt ton damage to a Crunch, so I can't switch it in. Resolve dies. Muck's at -3. This thing's also got a blooming Berry. There's berries everywhere. So we're going to protect with Muck. Kind of didn't want to get charmed again. We're going to Psyshock with Resolve onto the Sylveon. It's going to be not quite enough to pick up the KO. Mighty Yenna's going to go for a Crunch. Yeah, so I think if we'd have targeted down the Mighty Yenna with a couple of Flamethrowers, we probably would have KO'd it. Sylveon goes for Moonblast, so into Muck, which is fine because we're protected. So now we've got no choice but to go out into Marowak, who doesn't particularly like this matchup that much. For Sylveon isn't such a problem right now. The biggest problem we've got is this Mighty Yenna. But we're still going to go after the Sylveon. So you see Shadow Sneak there. I was hoping it might be enough to KO, but no. Super effective Crunch. We actually lived that because we got some natural bulk. As he actually charms Muck again. So Muck is now at -6, I believe. We're literally as low as it can get. Muck can literally just blow on her at this point. Thankfully, Boomerang is going to come through from Marowak, who lived that Crunch, and take out the mighty Yenna for us. And we're going to see Chandelure turn up. So, as this is a Trick Room Chandelure, I was kind of hoping that Marowak might outspeed it, but we're going to get a Shadow Sneak off just to try and pick up the KO on this Sylveon, who I know Marowak doesn't outspeed. As Chandelure actually goes for a Will-O-Wisp, so this guy really hates Mucks. He's obviously, I think his loss must have had a couple of rough runnings with them, and he's just desperately trying to nerf Muck as much as he can get. Sylveon's going to outspeed Marowak though. He's going to easily pick up the KO with that Side Shock. Except we live on 6. Hooray! And get this Boomerang off. So, thankfully for us, the extra bulk that Marowak packs came in super handy. Yeah, this guy really must hate Muck. Must absolutely hate it. Because if he'd have targeted Marowak down there, that would have been it. There'd been nothing Muck could have done against the two of them. Sylveon's going to go for a Protect. I'm like, that's absolutely fine. Because you can't do anything against Muck, and you've got Citrus, so I'm guessing you're not the Rish set, so. So Muck's going to blow on her in the attempt to hope that his bad breath will knock her out. Unfortunately, she protected that turn. Didn't protect, sorry, but didn't do anywhere near enough. Shockingly. That's going to cover Marowak. So we're just going to Poison Jab next turn. I didn't think there was any reason. The only reason we went for a Shadow Sneak was I hoped it preserved the 2-0, but no, not quite for us. So, but we've still got this game tied up here. She's that low, but surely a Poison Jab at this range will KO. And she would need the mother of all high roll crits to take us out. Yeah, he would absolutely need the mother of all high roll crits. So we see Moonblast come through. It's going to do a decent chunk, but it's going to pop our berry. As we go for a Poison Jab, it's going to do a good amount and just pick up the KO for us. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, make sure you go and hit that like button. Any comments you've got to make on the match, leave them down below and I will try and reply to all of them. If I don't see you around, I will see you on Battle Spot. Take care for now. Bye.